Nikki Haley got a major boost to her presidential hopes this week with the news that the influential and deep-pocketed political network Americans for Prosperity Action, founded by the Koch brothers, is going all in on her candidacy, meaning likely tens of millions of dollars could land in her campaign war chest. In a memo, the group's leader wrote, quote, "You can't advance good policy unless you win. Our internal polling confirms what our activists are hearing and seeing from voters in early primary states. Nikki Haley is in the best position to defeat Donald Trump in the primary. She's in a strong position to gather more support." So basically, with 5 major candidates still in the running, the Koch group thinks the field will soon narrow. Supporters of the other candidates will eventually flock to her. And if she comes out strong in Iowa in January, followed by a strong showing in New Hampshire and a win in her home state of South Carolina, those are the first 3, she could pull it off. But is that realistic, as the Koch brothers believe, or is it just wishful thinking? Back with us, Scottie Nell Hughes, former Trump campaign surrogate Andrew Yang, co-chair of the Forward Party, and Tony Powell, host of Powell to the People podcast. Andrew, wishful thinking, or you think that there's a real path?
I think Nikki's going to grow, and I think their numbers are right in terms of the fact that she has more support in front of her from both Republican primary voters and the general electorate if she were to get there. The problem is that Trump has 40 to 50% of the vote more or less on lock, and he's competing still against 3 or 4 candidates. It's going to be very tough for Nikki to win in either Iowa or New Hampshire with that vote spread out. And the big question is going to come down to South Carolina. Right now, she's at 20% and climbing in South Carolina, but that's still maybe 30 points behind Donald Trump. So she's got a lot of ground to make up. She is the only candidate other than Trump who's shown consistent growth, and she is on an upward trajectory.
Tony, any hope, you think?
No, I don't. She's 20. She's at 20% in her own home state. I don't think Nikki Haley would get picked first in a game of Pictionary in her own house. So I don't see her getting any votes. I don't see her, maxing out. I mean, I'm glad the Koch's got money to burn. Please, send it to me if you
but that's the thing. I don't think that they would just waste it, right? If they didn't think she had any real shot.
Did you hear them endorse Mitt Romney? Remember in 2012 when they got all in behind Mitt Romney?
Yeah.
See how that worked out for him. There was no.
But again, it wasn't like, oh my God, it wasn't even close. Oh, Mitt Romney. It was close. Mitt Romney almost.
We knew Barack Obama was going to be reelected. That was all. I mean, even I, as a Republican, could see that.
But again, they were wanting to support the Republican candidate in that case. Here, and again, I'm not saying that, oh, the Koch brothers are behind you and you win. No. But I don't think they'd be spending this kind of money if they didn't think she had a path.
Well, here's the thing, though. 2016, Donald Trump changed it because it was no longer about money in politics, even though it helps.
Yep.
It was about messaging. Donald Trump's campaign won on the least amount that has ever been spent in a presidential campaign in modern times. And they did that because his message resonated. His message was right. And he utilized social media, which, as it is right now, is still basically free if you have the right way to do it and you know how to do it.
So Trump has this 40 to 50% of the primary voters on lock. But the question is, does the other 50% consolidate around a single candidate, and then can that even start leeching off of Trump's numbers? It's a big bet, but of the other candidates, Nikki Haley is the one with the best shot.
But does she motivate, back to the same question we started this off, does she motivate Republicans to turn out, get excited? She couldn't even motivate her own state at a South Carolina Clemson game last week. General McMaster's brought Donald Trump out to a roaring applause. Nikki Haley was nowhere even to be found.
Well, here's the other thing, and I'm amazed that we're even discussing this. She can't get her own state behind her. Her Trump supporters believe that she's a traitor, right? She turned on Trump. They believe
No. You're talking about Christie and Pence there.
But she as well. She was a UN rep. Absolutely.
Right.
She was chosen over Richard Grinnell, who many Trump supporters felt like should have received that job. But Trump chose Nikki Haley. So, yes, she is seen as a turncoat.
No, she's not a turncoat in the same way that the outright critics are. I mean, she's done an incredible job kind of threading the needle. And her most recent event in South Carolina did turn into a full-fledged rally. I mean, she's run a very smart campaign in that she hasn't even gone up on TV yet. Some of these other candidates are just burning millions trying to boost their numbers. Nikki's been, and this is not a negative, this is a positive, the tortoise in this race, just sort of slow but steady climbing. And that's been without a lot of TV support.
What's the path to victory then?
The path to victory is do well in Iowa, like surprisingly well.
Right.
So now you've got momentum going into New Hampshire. You go to New Hampshire and you do really well, right? Again, you don't have to win. You just have to do really well.
Right.
She has to win South Carolina. right?
Yeah.
So the momentum, though, could fundamentally change the game. And it's the same thing that you said earlier about the polls, right? Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.